The gifting event for 2020 could be cancelled, Mojo and Longshot are coming to the game next month, and Abyss of Legends is imminent! Yes, hello everybody and welcome back to the Marvel Contest of Champions news. Hopefully you had a lovely weekend. I myself have been trying cake, yes, because myself and Em next year are getting married, so it's going to be quite important for us to go to different venues, go to festivals, and try cake. I suppose there could be worse ways to spend a weekend. Also, just before we get into the news, I want to give a massive thanks to all my current members up on screen now. Also, all my patrons and as well Twitch subs. You can really help out the channel as well by hitting out the comment section and commenting something. And as well hitting the like button. That really does help out the channel. And I shall dub thee. Let's get into the news. We start light on Marvel Contest of Champions news with a little story, a little bit of a kind of a good graphic based story. So a lot of you know that the ways the arena kind of screens look, or the arena tabs, they look a little bit annoying, especially with the banners coming down over them at the finish point, and as well just the way they look isn't exactly brilliant. Well, Kabam have gone for this kind of standard look, as you can see here, which is a bit of a change from the normal one, which, you know, looks like this and has got the type of shard within it. But I just like the fact, I mean, for me personally, I want to see the type of star that you're going through of the champion, which is like, I kind of feel like I know this more than I'd know the other one. Even though I've had the other one for a lot longer time, I actually prefer this a lot more. But I know there are a few people divided on that particular subject. But anyway, how do you feel about this change? Put it down in the comment section down below. Next up, and we've got Abyss of Legends coming this week. Yes, indeed, a lot of people have waited a long time for this. Next up, an Abyss of Legends is coming this week. On Wednesday the 22nd, we'll see the introduction of this event. Will this be something that people will like or get stressed out about? Who knows? I think the main consensus is we're still a little bit annoyed about the way that the map is locked. And as a lot of you do know that have been doing it, do not pester Otriux for this information of the map. He's been very specific on that he wouldn't be giving away that level of information. Otriux also kind of like made a full point of this, as you can see here, but also gave some spicy information, especially like here saying did some Abyss tests, having bugs where I can't properly change some champs. But for now, here are my notes. The health pools alone are crazy. Never mind the additional nodes. Massacre is a pain. You can do around 18,000 damage on his block with 99 fracture charges. Sometimes you can hit 50k as well hitting into his block, but he is hard. Human Torch versus Deadpool, it's a very 50-50 fight. You need to play very aggressive. I was able to reverse his healing to 92%. Karnak also is a huge pain since his masteries don't work. So there's a lot of information still yet to come up, but obviously we'll see all this on Wednesday. Now, do bear in mind for those that kind of go like, oh, this looks too scary and stuff, you don't have to bother with this for a while. If you do bother it for a while, then, you know, you may kind of like spend a bit of time to kind of learn from other people's mistakes, which a lot of people will be doing. Or you could just, you know, part with your wallet and just like, you know, just waste all your money. It's up to you. And now in other news, and what is going on with the gifting event for 2020. I know it's very early to talk about this, but this has been something that's been brought up in discussion. Hector put out a video on this, and as well there was an accompanying forum post that I was going to reference for this particular video. But unfortunately, Kabam got there first and decided to close it, which is annoying because I wanted to start a discussion point raising something of many points that people have put in comment sections. With an accompanying video, we talked about changes that would need to be made to the gifting event and how it actually should be cancelled altogether. In Hector's video, the point is made that this is something of information from Kabam. There's no screenshots to pinpoint this, but we take it as word as being that Kabam's main problem is with a combination of not much security being allowed at Google Play and also in association with the iTunes store. So those type of aspects are being blamed, and as well those that are breaking the system. Now, that's the thing. I appreciate that, but also I don't appreciate that. At that point in time, to say and acknowledge, and which Kabam do, they do say that, you know, it wasn't the greatest idea to bring back the gifting event, but obviously people wanted to see it. And I would probably said that this is the time, regardless of what's in the past. It's stupid to focus on the past. If you're a good business, you focus forward. And focusing forward for me would have been to answer the statement and go, do you know what? The gifting event didn't exactly go according to plan. But what we planned for this year is something completely different. And even though it could be a case of going like, we don't have the resources to plan that far ahead, it is important to plan that far ahead and take out elements or redo the event, take out gifting whatsoever, in order to make it a more fairer type of thing. Okay, now I'm going to take you back in time. As you can see here, this is called a Crystal Crash. Now I did call it Crystal Rush or Crystal Crush before, but the fact is it is similar to gifting event in that everyone in the Alliance participates with spending crystals, and you get some substantial base rewards from the milestones, which are more extensive, or similar really to the gifting event. There is rank rewards to this, which obviously, yeah, you might say that was one of the key problems. But one of the key problems that is taken out, if you rebrand the gifting event and call it a festive event and give, instead of gifting, like, you know, there's, instead of greater gifting crystals, there's just things like called festive crystals or greater festive crystals, which essentially are your greater gifting and gifting crystals. And you might be thinking to yourself like, well, why get rid of gifting? Well, first and foremost, it's the scamming side of things. Because if you get rid of the aspect of gifting, then those that are being scammed, because people did get scammed out of crystals, units or whatever, you remove that element to it. How do you sort out the problem with people spying on one another and also there's people jumping in between alliances? Well, you lock the alliances. They've done this before. I'm pretty certain they have done this before, so correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty certain Kabam have had the power to lock people into alliances so they cannot leave that alliance. And if you do that for a set time, say while the festive period goes on, or this festive event, festive crystal spend, whatever you want to call it, of an idea of an event, then it does mean that it's fair, and those that maybe want to spend, because that's the other element, is there will be ideas and places and kind of opportunities for people to spend, because you'll buy your crystals, you'll buy your units, you'll spend them on these special crystals, these greater festive crystals, and then it's a case that those points get added into the total for the festive base crystal event. And then by the end of it, it means that there's going to be a rank reward that you can't kick people whilst they're in that alliance. So people can't join in with their random ass accounts with the loads of units from their kind of merked bot account, and it's a lot more fairer. At the end of the day, I don't really want to hear excuses, and especially I appreciate the fact they have kind of sort of apologized, but there's no statement to kind of say that on the forums or anything to say like, oh, you know, we got it wrong. But I want to hear what's next, what they're going to do to rectify, what is the future idea. And that's the thing, like I said, loads of people in the community have had great ideas. So to kind of not really hear that we've got some good ideas to kind of sort this out in 2020, December 2020, and kind of remove this event. And like I said, it would be better to kind of either get rid of gifting altogether to sort out the scamming, the botting, the cheap unit BS, and as well locking people to alliances, and as well change the whole dynamic of the event itself. And I'm going to say that I'm not the expert here, right? I don't run a multi-hundreds of millions dollar company. I'm just one man as a full-time YouTuber talking about a game which I passionately love, as well as a lot of other people do as well. So it does need to be looked at, and I really hope that Kabam this year can take ideas from the community. They can look at the situation and how they stop these people from getting unfair advantage, especially from dropping units into alliances willy-nilly and other things like that. Especially if conversations like this are going to be completely shut off. Granted, there may be some stuff that was abusive in this particular type of discussion, but the fact is, if it's not something that we're allowed to talk about, yet it's sort of being talked about through a video, then I really do not get it. Whatever happens this year, get it sorted. What are your thoughts on this? Put it in the comment section down below about the gifting event for potentially 2020. Next up, and it's a bit of a long shot, and for some reason, Austin Powers has lost his mojo, baby. Yeah, very exciting to learn that we're going to be getting a Mojo Longshot kind of X-Men based event. It always seems that February seems to fall on some sort of event like this, which is pretty cool. I'm a big X-Men fan and big kind of like mutant fan. So this is going to be quite exciting to see how these two characters factor in. And something that Kabam did say for last year, for this year, is that we'll see more obscure based champions and characters. And I do feel with the way that the puzzle has worked in the past, that Kabam are always putting in these red herrings, kind of make you think that it's potentially one thing, but actually is another. So will we see the likes of Professor X and any kind of more powerful mutant? I doubt it, especially if you want to see the game prolonged a little bit longer, then kind of like putting all the kind of the top characters from the Marvel Universe into the game is not really the wisest idea. So obviously we get the game for a few more years, it develops a little bit more, yada yada, happy days. And obviously I'll look to put out some comic book history and abilities videos very, very soon. Oh god! That's horrible. Now on to arena predictions. All my predictions, as you know, are down below at the moment, but we're going to go through the results from round 1. But also I welcome you to go to Marvel Contest of Champions Trucos' site to check out what the final cutoffs are when you get a chance a bit later on today. First of all, this player picked up 7-4 position with a score of 6.4 mil. Now, I must admit, I think I did this a little bit lower than normal in my predictions, or maybe I put about 6.5, but I'm going with another 6.5 for this. If you did want to pick up Darkhawk as a 4-star, then you wanted to feel safe, 6.8 mil would probably be the safe bet. But let's face it, 6.5 mil, you've probably picked yourself up a Darkhawk, as you can see here. Luis picks up position 67 with what he says is 40.5 mil. Now, this kind of puts me in an idea of thinking that when I said before that 30 to 35 mil may be enough, possibly, but at the same time, I kind of feel that going into round 2, 40 mil may be a safe bet. But anything between 35 to 40, probably putting about 38 mil, may be a safe bet for you to get that 5-star Darkhawk. Now, as I said last time, I wasn't quite sure where Mysterio would go, but it looks like it's gone a lot lower than normal. One thing that I did say in Marvel Contest Champions news is that I feel that this champion could go anything around about 2.6. I was wrong, it went lower than that with 2.2. This is why in round 2 I'm going with 2.4 mil for this champion. I feel that it's going to be fine if you put 2.4 mil in, you'll get yourself a Mysterio or that Awakening. There we have it, guys, that has been Marvel Contest of Champions news. Now welcome to the new outro card where I'm going to say check out some content up on the top row, and also if this works correctly then go and support my Patreon, far left hand corner. Also subscribe, and also if you want to be a member and help support the channel, which will be really amazingly appreciated, then please hit that as well. Thank you again to all my members for supporting the channel, and also people that are Twitch subs and patrons. It does mean a lot and helps towards getting things like New York Comic Con this year, and as well the UK meetup. So thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.